Who are you, really? Not the name, not the story, not even the face in the mirror. Who are you when no one is watching, when you're alone with your thoughts, your emotions, your vibration? Because that, your self-concept, is what the universe responds to. Welcome back. In our last episode, we explored timelines and parallel realities, how your alignment literally moves you into new versions of existence. Today, we're diving even deeper, into the source code of all of it, your identity. Neville Goddard said, "Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live." That's the secret. You don't chase new realities. You become the person who already lives in them. Part 1. The Self as a Quantum Script. At the deepest level, reality mirrors identity. Everything you experience reflects the frequency of who you believe yourself to be. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains that your personality, made up of how you think, feel, and act, creates your personal reality. When you think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and behave the same way, you keep recreating the same timeline. Neville said it more poetically. The world is yourself pushed out. Your outer world is the projection of your inner self-image, and Abraham Hicks adds that your point of attraction is always determined by how you see yourself in relation to what you want. You can't attract abundance while believing you're someone who never has enough. You can't receive love while identifying as someone unworthy of it. Reality doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you are. Part 2. Identity as Frequency. Bashar describes identity as a vibrational signature. Each version of you, confident you, peaceful you, abundant you, already exists as a frequency pattern in the quantum field. You shift timelines not by effort, but by matching the energy of the version you prefer. Imagine yourself as a prism. The light of infinite potential shines through you, and the colors that appear depend on the filter of your identity. Change the filter, the beliefs, emotions, and expectations, and you project a completely different spectrum of reality. That's what Dr. Joe Dispenza means by becoming your future self now. You embody the energy of that version, mentally, emotionally, biologically, until reality has no choice but to catch up. Part 3. The Science of Self-Reinvention. Science confirms what these teachers have been saying for decades. Neuroplasticity shows that your brain rewires itself based on repeated thought and emotion. Epigenetics shows that your genes express differently based on your emotional environment. In other words, your self-concept doesn't just live in your mind, it's coded into your biology. When you shift your identity, you're not pretending, you're reprogramming. Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations are designed exactly for this, to disconnect from the old self, the self defined by the past, and emotionally embody the new one. When you do this long enough, your body becomes the living evidence of your future. That's why Neville said, "Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment." When you assume a new identity, your reality organizes around it, like iron filings aligning with a magnet. Part 4. The I Am Frequency. The most powerful words in the universe are I am. They are the energetic declaration of identity, the point where thought becomes form. Abraham Hicks reminds us, every time you say, I am, the universe answers, yes. So when you say, I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky, you're not describing your reality, you're commanding it. But when you say, I am calm, I am abundant, I am becoming, you shift the broadcast frequency of your entire being. Neville taught that your I am is God, the creative consciousness within you. Whatever follows those two words becomes the mold through which the infinite takes shape. So the question isn't, how do I manifest? It's, who am I being? Your self-concept is the manifestation. Part 5. Bashar's permission slip. Bashar uses a term called permission slip. He says all tools, affirmations, visualizations, rituals, are simply permission slips that allow you to become who you already are. When you identify as someone powerful, connected, and deserving, you give yourself permission to receive. When you identify as someone broken or uncertain, you unconsciously block what's already available in the field. You don't need to earn the new timeline. You only need to identify with it. Part 6. Practical identity shifting. Here's how to begin embodying your quantum identity, step by step. Step 1. Observe the old story. Write down how you currently describe yourself. I'm always busy. I'm not disciplined. I'm trying to manifest, but it's not working. That's your current vibration, the script your reality is following.
Step 2. Choose a new self-concept. Decide who you're becoming. Neville would say, define your state clearly. Maybe it's, I am calm and magnetic, or I am the version of me who lives in flow. It doesn't have to feel true yet. It just needs to feel possible. Step 3. Emotional rehearsal. This is where Dr. Joe's work comes in. Feel what it's like to be that person now. What does her body feel like? How does she walk, breathe, and speak? Your nervous system learns through repetition and emotion, not logic. Step 4. Speak the identity daily. Use I am statements as micro-realignments throughout the day. When fear arises, instead of reacting, pause and affirm, I am safe. I am guided. I am returning to alignment. Your new identity stabilizes every time you re-choose it. Step 5. Follow the evidence. As Bashar says, circumstances don't matter. Only state of being matters. But once you shift states, life begins reflecting it. Notice the small confirmations, synchronicities, new opportunities, lighter moods. That's your new timeline solidifying. Part 7. The bridge between selves. Here's the part most people misunderstand. When you change identities, your outer world doesn't always shift instantly. It reorganizes. This reorganization is what Neville called the bridge of incidents. You might see contrast, old patterns resurfacing, but they're not setbacks. They're simply the residue of the old you fading out of relevance. Abraham would say, don't take score too soon. Stay aligned with your new self, even when nothing seems different. That's the moment you're truly shifting timelines. Part 8. The power of consistency. Identity change is a practice, not an event. Every time you return to your chosen vibration, you strengthen that neural and energetic pathway. Dr. Joe calls this installing the circuit of the future. Neville calls it persistence in the assumption. Bashar calls it state stabilization. Abraham calls it momentum. It's all the same thing. Repetition of alignment until it becomes natural. Part 9. Living as your quantum self. Eventually, you stop trying to manifest things and start being the version of yourself who naturally experiences them. You stop asking, when will it come? And start realizing, it's already who I am. That's the turning point, when manifestation becomes identity and effort becomes flow. You no longer chase outcomes. You embody alignment, and timelines shift around you. So as you move through this week,
Watch your words. Notice every time you say, I am, because that's you selecting a timeline. Each statement is a brushstroke painting your reality. Who are you being today? Because the universe is always listening, and it only speaks the language of identity. In our next episode, we'll explore quantum emotion, how feeling states rewrite reality. We'll uncover how emotion is not just a reaction to reality, but the energetic command that creates it. Until then, remember, you are not becoming, you are remembering who you already are.